Greetings and welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. A couple of quick announcements before we kind of really get started, and that is for those of you who are really interested in my work and what we're doing here and really wish to conspire, go over to Telegram. I typically post up previews or videos over there, other things that I just don't really talk about here. So if you really wish to follow and be a true blue co-conspirator, then I would encourage you to go over to Telegram and follow the Telegram channel. The link will be in the description below. Today, I'm going to kind of veer from what I normally do. Normally, I have court documents to show and things that are really, really concrete. And today, I don't really have that. What I have is a story. And this story is about Micheline Epstein, Dr. Micheline Epstein, up in New York. And I'm just going to call her Dr. Epstein because obviously I have a problem pronouncing her first name. I've never really known anybody with that name. So Dr. Epstein works as a MD at Living Well Balanced, and she is a supervising MD. The way the story goes is she was taking her daughter to school last week, and her daughter had a mask on going into school, and then the nurse comes out and yells at Dr. Epstein about not wearing a mask, and she wasn't in the school. She wasn't under the school's jurisdiction. She's a doctor. I'm sure she is quite competent to take care of her own health. Dr. Epstein had gone through a divorce, and they had an agreement, 50-50 custody, and it sounds like they both came to this agreement. Anyways, her ex-husband uses this as kind of a moment to go and seek full custody. He ended up getting full custody. So Dr. Epstein lost custody of her child because she wasn't wearing a mask, a doctor. And this was perpetrated and started by a nurse. Think about that for a second. And now, Miss Epstein, Dr. Epstein, Miss Dr. Epstein, has a Give, Fund, Go, or something page. It's a Christian donation site where she's asking for $100,000 to help with legal fees to get custody of her child back. This is so absurd because even the judge ordered her that she has to have a mask on in her own home to see her daughter, to have supervised visitations with her daughter. So think about this. A judge who doesn't have a medical degree, a nurse who doesn't have a doctorate's degree in medicine, are telling an actual doctor what she has to do in her own home in order to see her daughter. That's absolutely insane. And Dr. Epstein, I'm incredibly sorry that this happened to you. And I hope that if you ever see this, it will encourage you to stand up for rights in court and people's rights, because just like the judge doesn't have a doctorate's degree in medicine, you shouldn't have to pay $100,000 to have your rights upheld. And if you have to pay $100,000 to have your rights upheld, then you don't have any rights. You don't have any rights. You have privileges. And privileges that most people in this society cannot afford. And most people in our society would be underwater if they had a $400 out of expense month. That's most people. So, but again, it's like, let's just think about this from a common sense kind of standpoint. Why should a doctor have to pay $100,000 to somebody who has a doctorate in law and not in medicine to explain to someone else who has a doctorate in law, not in medicine, why they shouldn't have their child taken away because they're not wearing a medical mask. That's absurd. The doctor, the individual who has a doctorate in medicine, should be able to explain to the individual who has a doctorate in law why they shouldn't have to wear a mask on the side of the street. And if you gotta go hire an attorney to do that for you, then that just sounds like some sovereign citizen code to me. That's the way I feel about it. So, thanks for listening. Now, let's hear from Jessica O. over in Africa. Talk about the vaccine.
But if you remember at the beginning of the video, there was one particular side effect that I did not anticipate. And I'm happy to share that with you now. The vile comments, the negative comments, the disapproving comments on social media, here on YouTube, and elsewhere. So let me just say this. All I was trying to do was to take a vaccine. Whether you believe in the vaccine or not is entirely up to you. But let me just state this clearly. It's my decision what I want to do with my life, whether I decide to take the vaccine or not. I appreciate the fact that people are looking out for me, are concerned that maybe something bad might happen to me, and this is a way of Bill Gates trying to kill Africa. Nonsense. And all that. I get it. But to the extent that you feel like you need to insult my intelligence, that's a whole different ballgame. I am a human being, first and foremost. I do not live for you, secondly. I choose to do as I please, when I please, however I please. And so if you disagree with the fact that I've taken the vaccine, we can agree to disagree. Just do not come in my comments and be rude, because I would never be rude to you. There's absolutely no reason. Maybe you can have a genuine argument with me about how, you really feel like this vaccine should not be taken. But to insult my intelligence, that's below you. That's beneath you. That should never happen. And I do not entertain people like that. Lots of people are asking me, for instance, on social media, why don't you just block these people from your page? But I don't believe in that. Freedom of speech. And I will set you right and know that I will fight for myself. And I don't ascribe to that whole thing where people think that if others attack personalities, they shouldn't mind them, they should ignore them, I would come after you. You come after me, I'll come after you. And that's just the way it is. For me, that was the biggest side effect of taking the COVID vaccine. So that is what happened to me. And please, there's no need for you to be rude. Just be kind to one another. If someone chooses to take the vaccine, that's on them. Think about it this way. If all the vaccines that came before us, from polio to yellow fever, etc., was refused by the people who went before us, where would we be today? Someone's got to do it. If you don't, that's fine. I'm happy to have taken the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Okay. Thank you, Jessica O. I appreciate your point of view, and you seem intelligent enough to me. I'll respect your wishes to take a vaccine, but I'm going to talk about this with people here on this channel. So, no way am I encouraging anybody to go and give somebody grief for taking the vaccine or wearing the mask or doing whatever. Everybody has free will and they should be able to exercise it however they please or wish. But here are some things to think about when considering getting vaccinated. If I get vaccinated, can I stop wearing a mask? No. If I get vaccinated, will the restaurants, bars, schools, fitness clubs, hair salons, etc. reopen, and will people get back to work like normal? No. if I get vaccinated, will I be resistant to COVID? Maybe. We don't exactly know yet because it's still experimental. If I get vaccinated, at least I won't be contagious to others, right? No, if you get vaccinated, you're still contagious to others. If I get vaccinated, how long will the vaccine last? No one knows. All vaccines are still in the experimental stage, if you can really call them vaccines. If I get vaccinated, can I stop social distancing? Nope. If my parents, grandparents, and myself all get vaccinated, can we all hug each other again? Well, the CDC and Dr. Fauci advise not to. And triple mask up. So, what's the benefit of getting vaccinated? Hoping that the virus won't kill you. Are you sure that the vaccine won't injure or kill me? Well, nobody can say for sure because, well, it's still in the experimental phase. But if somebody does get injured or killed, there's a good propaganda machine in place to make sure that it doesn't sound that way. Just my opinion, not a fact. Statistically, only 99.7% of people survive from the coronavirus. So why should you get vaccinated? Well, to protect others, to protect grandma. So if I get vaccinated, I can protect 100% of people I come in contact with. Nope. If I get vaccinated, if I experience a severe adverse reaction, long-term side effects, still unknown, or die from the vaccine, myself or my family will be compensated by the government or the vaccine manufacturers, right? No, because they've declared they have zero liability for all of that stuff. So, to summarize, the COVID vaccine does not provide immunity, does not eliminate the virus, does not prevent death, does not guarantee you won't get it, does not stop you from passing it on to others, does not eliminate the need for travel bans, does not eliminate the need for business closures, will not eliminate the need for a lockdown. So what's the point in getting this vaccine? And I'll tell you what the point for getting the vaccine is so that they can have vaccine passes that they're already talking about coming out with. They already have it in other countries, and people aren't going to be able to move, buy, or sell, or do anything without this vaccine pass. That's the point. That's why they're saying that people should get it. And this is what we're doing. And why are so many people lining up to get this vaccine? Well, because the news and the media and the advertising companies are telling them they should. Because there's a shortage, because you want to make sure that yours is secure. That's why. And we only have a very short period of time to try and turn this around. Very short. They're talking about having the COVID vaccine pass coming out here in America this summer. So, Jessica I respect your right to get the vaccine and to make that choice for yourself. And I'm sorry that the biggest side effect is that people kind of harassed you about that. That's not very proper or courteous of them. But at the same time, I've seen people call other people in the streets grandma killers because they're not wearing a mask. That's probably a bigger side effect of this whole thing. I just reported about a woman in New York who had her daughter taken for not having a mask. And there are other reports similar to this across the country. That's a pretty serious side effect of this whole COVID pandemic. So I'll encourage the people that I know to not harass people like you who get the vaccines. If you encourage the people you know to not harass other people who choose not to. And if you stand up for free speech and people's right to choose, then I stand up for your right to choose what you do, and I'll respect it. That's just the way I feel about it. And yeah, thanks for listening. Hope everybody sticks around because I got some good things lined up, and people have been asking for a solution to some of these problems. And I'm gonna gotta give the people what they wish for, right? Gotta give the people what they wish for. So hopefully you'll stick around, pass this around, and join us in this conspiracy. One world love and peace.